What is up, everyone? We have exercised the Nurglings from our computer system, so we're back. We're talking about Death Guard at the end of this long day, the Chaos Day, the Day of Chaos, where we get all of the Chaos data sheets.
That's right. We've got first in our hearts,
but
last to be covered,
list, but not last. We have Death Guard.
Death Guard!
Yay!
Death Guard, stinky boys, walking down the field making you stinky too.
So I am taking up the proud mantle of the Art of War Death Guard player. So I'm excited to be putting these guys on the table and showing them what the fetid boys of Nurgle have to offer and all these awesome combos we're about to talk about.
But if you want to know what the boys of Art of War have to offer you, you can check out the War Room down in the link below, thewarroom.vhx.tv.
Also above me.
That's right. We have a 3-day free trial where you can check out our wonderful global community, and we will have people in our Discord discussing all of these cool rules, chewing over them all, dissecting them, taking them apart.
I'll be there. We'll be talking about how awesome Death Guard are.
That's right. And please check us out, and you might find more content that you might like.
I know. So before we get started, we have something super fun. Like a fun fact. This one suits Nurgle. Did you know that the Black Death in Europe was responsible for almost 200 million deaths?
It's like roughly 1/3 of the population.
Yeah, but in terms of percentages of the population, in the Americas, after European explorers came over, some estimates place nearly 90% of the population died due to their non-exposure to diseases like smallpox and measles. Can you imagine that? Like, it's like zombie...
I really want to unsubscribe for fun facts from Quinton.
It's like zombie movie levels of, like, decimation of the population. It must have been terrifying.
Yeah. No, I guess it's not good.
No.
Anyway, on to Death Guard.
Death Guard.
Okay. First, we've got Josue Areola. Says, let's go. Member for 22 months.
Thank you. All right, let's talk about Death Guard. So Death Guard's army rule is Nurgle's Gift. It's an aura, which increases in size. First it's 3 inches of range, then it's 6 inches of range, then it's 9 inches of range. And if any enemy models are within said range of one of your units, they are -1 toughness.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Help get them over break
returning
points.
from last edition, but unlike last time, we have much larger auras. Well, they get larger sooner.
Yes.
Cool.
It's not 1 inch, then 3 inch, then 6, then 9. It's 3, then 6, then 9.
Yep, and there are ways to increase that, which we'll show.
Absolutely.
It's an interesting rule. Toughness has gone up generally, so -1 toughness is less of a thing than it was last edition, but it's still a really important thing. It's also really important on stuff like infantry, like bringing Space Marines down to toughness 3, means bolters wound them on 3s, all kinds of cool stuff. It can also really matter for larger vehicles, getting them below break points with certain weapons like las cannons or the entropy cannons in the Plagueburst Crawler, which we're going to talk a lot about them because they're one of my favorite units in this book.
That's right. All right, their detachment rule for the Plague Company is Spread the Sickness. If you control an objective marker at the end of your command phase and Death Guard unit from your army is in range of that objective marker, that objective marker is said to be infected and it remains under your control.
Yep.
And it being infected does interact with a lot of different rules. Kind of a lot of steps to jump through, but it does give you some really cool rules when you do.
When the stars align, you get everything ready. Death Guard have some really awesome combos.
Yes.
So once you sneeze on your objectives, they're yours forever, and you can walk right off them, which means you don't really have to pay points for anything to go back and babysit them, because you can just leave them and they're still yours.
That's right. And they also get Nurgle's Gift, so if your opponent's near them, they reduce their toughness.
Yep. So this is an army that really wants to sit in the center and just tank your opponent over and over again. And if you can pull it off, basically forcing your opponent to come fight on your turf, you get a lot of really cool bonuses.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, let's get right into their stratagems.
So there's some stratagems here that I am excited about, and there are some stratagems here I am jealous of. So, in my opinion, the two standout stratagems are Ferric Blight and Sanguinous Flux. Ferric Blight picks a Death Guard unit that has not been selected to shoot or fight, and you get +1 AP. If you're shooting at a unit that is within contagion range of an infected objective marker, so an objective marker that you held in your last command phase,
okay,
then you get +2 AP instead.
Okay.
So not bad.
You can't do this on Overwatch when somebody walks up to you because it has to be in
your shooting phase or your fight phase. It also, to make it really good, it requires your opponent to not have taken an objective from you and be still next to you. But later in the game, when your contagion range is longer, it's not bad.
Not as bad, because it could be 9 inches from the objective marker. Let me see something. It is said to be infected Remains under your control even if you... So it's said to be infected, I think, for the whole game.
I think while you're on it.
Said to be infected and remains under your control even if no models within range.
Until your opponent controls it, yeah.
The infected and remains control. So the question is, does infected and remains control the same thing?
I'd assume
probably
that you're...
Yes.
Probably. I assume that you were not infected anymore once your opponent takes it back.
Okay, fair enough. They disinfect it. They scrub it down.
Yeah, they get some Clorox, the enemy. Okay, Sanguineous Flux, really similar...
Yeah, you get sustained hits 1 in the fight phase.
Or sustained hits 2.
And sustained hits 2 is if they are in range of an infected objective marker you control. And not within contagion range of an infected, just within range, which is 3 inches of the objective marker.
So, a little more restrictive, but I really like this one on like Deathshroud. Giving their Man Reapers Tesla is really awesome, especially if you couple that with Lord of Contagion. It gives them 4 rolls to hit and you can go fishing. Pretty great. Up next, we have Disgustingly Resilient. I'm not going to sugarcoat one. This stratagem is kind of insulting for a variety. So it was an army rule, and now it's a stratagem, and you can only use it in the fight phase, and other factions get it in both phases or for cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, in 10th edition, this stratagem is a good stratagem.
It's a very good stratagem.
But the fact they did take the army rule away and give it back to you as a 2 CP fight phase restricted strat...
It's not ideal.
Not ideal.
The stratagems are actually one of the better parts of this book. I legitimately like the stratagems. This one is...
it just hurts. It's good. It
just hurts.
But it hurts that you don't have -1 damage army-wide.
Yeah. Gifts of Decay. Pick any Death Guard model in your army and it regains D3 wounds. Or if you're in range of an objective marker, you regain 3 wounds. This is a good strat. There's no restriction on it, so you can use this on Mortarion. You can use this on a Land Raider. You can use this on like a Predator. All the stuff that we like in the book. You can't bring guys back to life like the Zenith strat in CSM, which is a little sad. But the fact that you can use it on really big stuff like Mortarion makes it actually useful. I think it's a strat you're going to see a lot of.
Yes. So just to be clear, yes, the -1 damage has no minimum, so you can go technically to damage 0. We have been down this road many times in the past couple editions.
It's possible that's real. We are assuming there's going to be some kind of really quick FAQ that says to a minimum of 1.
This has happened maybe 4 or 5 times in 40K's history in 8th and 9th edition,
where
they introduce a rule that accidentally doesn't have a minimum damage, and they always patch it immediately. So I would be shocked if they didn't. Mm-hmm. Gifts of Decay is decent because it targets one of your units within range of an objective marker.
This one actually, because you can put on like a backfield objective marker. It's also in your command phase, so you can infect it and then
heal.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
I like the stratagem. I use it probably a lot.
Yeah, it is hard to have an enemy unit in range of an infected objective without taking it back and that there's something you want to kill. But having one of your units on an infected objective marker is a lot easier. $5 super chat from Matt O. I get that we have a lot left to see, but this book does not pass the sniff test, especially compared to Marines. So the first thing you got to keep in mind
we don't have points.
We don't have points. And points are huge. Everything.
Yes.
If you look at Marines and they cost... I mean, just to be hyperbolic, they cost 100 points a model. You're not taking them, right?
Yep.
But if they cost 5 points a model, then you are. And somewhere in there is balance.
Yes.
Same way with Death Guard.
Yes.
So we do need to see what their points are.
But I will agree with you. On the surface level, there are some things that seem lower level than other books. But again, we don't know points. It's possible that this Death Guard are super cheap and you can run 1 million Plague Marines still.
Yeah, which is what they did for a little bit back in 9th edition.
Okay.
But they're stinky, so they don't pass the sniff test.
Yes.
Boil Blight.
Boil Blight. Use it in your shooting phase, and you pick 1 Death Guard unit and 1 unit that is within contagion range. And each time you shoot against that unit, you get heavy and ignores cover. I actually also like the stratagem. It's pretty not bad on Plagueburst Crawlers, because it fixes the indirect issues they have, but also it's just good on stuff like bolters, which all have lethal hits, which means your Plague Marines can hit on 2, or you can use it on like the las cannons on a Land Raider.
It is a little harder because the enemy unit has to be within the contagion range of the unit shooting.
So what you do is you take, of that unit.
Yeah.
Oh. Never mind.
Sorry.
Never mind. It's really good on...
It's really good on Terminators running down main.
Yes, that is what... There you go. If you drive your Land Raider right up next to someone. Okay. Cloud of Flies. I like this stratagem. It's stealth for 1 CP on any unit. It's great. You can use it on Mortarion, you can use it on a Land Raider, you can use it on a Plagueburst Crawler. Legitimately pretty good. I don't know why the CSM strat for Nurgle is you can't be shot, period. And also stealth.
Yeah,
I
don't get it. There are some misses. It's
we have some good strats. We have some questionable strats.
The problem is with a lot of these strats, right? Cloud of Flies is a decent strat, right? It's basically lightning fast reaction.
So Boil Blight is you pick one of your units and an enemy unit within contagion range, and then every gun gets to. Okay, so it is good, but you can't. F up for a second. You could use the Helbrute to proc it, but you can't do that.
The Helbrute picks an enemy unit?
No, if the Helbrute hits something, it counts as being in contagion range.
Of hit?
It might, actually. We'll have to check on that. Boil Blight might be awesome, depending on the Helbrute. But anyway, you can just run, like, Cultists forward, and they'll do it for you. So, strat is good.
I actually do like Boil Blight quite a lot. Because you run forward, and then your Plagueburst Crawlers go, you!
Yes.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yes.
Cloud of Flies and Disgustingly Resilient are objectively
good
stratagems, good stratagems. They are a bit insulting in the way they are presented.
Yes.
But they are objectively like
good
fine.
Strats, yes.
Yeah.
I use Cloud of Flies probably like every turn.
Yeah, you think so?
I would use them at every turn. I think you have one CP that you spend on one of the offensive stratagems, and you hopefully get one from your Tallyman, which you take one in every single list. You take two in every list, and then you use Cloud of Flies every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Death Guard Plague Company.
Yay!
Enhancements.
Okay.
We've got Living Plague.
Plus 3 inches to the range of Bear's aura abilities. So this is really good on the Demon Prince of Nurgle, who, without wings, because he gives you a 6 Field No Pain aura, which is awesome. He's one of the standout units in this book. And then also it's good for contagion range, so you can make contagion range actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yep. The droning is while they're within contagion range, if they fail a battle shock test, on a 2 through 5, you roll a d6. On a 2 through 5, you take a mortal. On a 6, you take d3. Probably leave this one at home.
Yeah, that one's not great.
Deadly Pathogen.
They have to be right next to you. Fail a battle shock test, and then they take a mortal.
Yeah, I wouldn't take this one. I hope it's free.
Yeah.
If it's free, I might not take it.
Yeah. Matt O, I legitimately don't remember. Where are they? Are they on the Codex roadmap?
I don't know.
Oh, please let me know, because it sounds like you know. Deadly Pathogen, +1 strength and attacks to the bear's melee weapons, and if he's in range of an infected objective marker you control, +2 strength, +2 attacks.
So if you're fighting on your turf, then you get +2 strength and attacks. Anywhere else, you get 1. It's not bad on the Lord of Contagion.
Yep, +1 strength and attacks is
not bad on a Demon Prince.
Shamble Rot?
Yep. -2 charge. I actually like this one.
This one is
good. Yeah.
Legitimately very good.
Because it means that you can't really be charged at a deep strike your opponent needs to roll an 11.
Oh, I'm sorry, Matto. They are not on the Codex roadmap.
Well,
Shamble Rot.
Okay.
Legitimately, Shamble Rot is very good.
I think this one's probably an auto-include in terms of enhancements, and definitely the standout one.
Yeah, especially if you have any kind of shooting unit, like maybe a close-range Terminator unit with Flamers or something like that.
Yep.
You give them -2 to charge, and it's just very difficult to charge them. -2 charge is very annoying.
Yep. We have the $5 super chat from, I don't know if it's CAK or CAC?
CAK. It's usually how we say it, but it could be whatever.
Yeah. I'm almost certain whoever wrote the DG rules is an intern. It's almost comical.
No comment.
There's some good stuff in this book. Okay. We gotta, I think...
Yep, we gotta
unzoom. Okay, Death Guard Demon Prince. This guy does not have wings. He is good. You might want one of these guys.
So he is toughness 11.
He's toughness 11. So you're going to notice a theme of -1 movement, +1 toughness, which is good.
He moves 7, which is the same as the T-Suns one.
Okay. I think it's slower than the CSM one.
It's slower than the World Eaters one as well.
Yeah. 2 up save, 10 wounds, 11. So he is legitimately tanky. He's not going to die easily. He's got a Plague Spewer instead of the Hellfire Bolter or whatever. Yeah. Which is anti-infantry 2+, ignores cover, torrents, D6 shots, strength 5v1, damage 1. So pretty good. Gonna use it. He'll roast some infantry. AP1's a little bit sad, but it ignores cover, so it's actually pretty reliable AP1, which you like.
In combat, he does hit pretty hard. And he does have while a friendly infantry unit is within Contagion range of this model, he gets Feel and Pain 6+.
Yeah.
That is also
good.
Legitimately good.
Yes.
I like this stat line.
Death Guard don't have any Feel No Pains aside from this, and aside from Mortarion and Poxwalkers. And they also don't have damage reduction, so having something to keep you alive while you sit in the center is helpful.
Oh no.
I like this guy. You're probably going to want to take him if you're taking a lot of Plague Ranger Terminators.
He's legitimately tanky. I could see taking multiples, depending on the points cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spread that aura out.
Spread that aura out.
He also does kind of hit pretty hard, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hits as hard as...
A demon?
God, he's probably hits the least hard. Because he doesn't have Psychic Weapon.
He's
not Strength 10 with the extra attack.
No, I think he's one less AP than all the other ones, too.
No, I think they're all
They're all AP, too? Okay.
Maybe now I'm questioning it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's got an awesome aura.
Toughness 11 with a
helpful.
2-up, 4-up, and 6-up Feel No Pain aura. I think is something you're going to want, though.
Mm-hmm. All right. Guy with wings.
Demon Prince with wings.
So he's also got the same gun.
He's toughness 10.
He hit the Satan card in combat. So he -1 toughness, -1 movement, normal. Pretty cool. Each time this model makes a charge move with an engagement range, the unit must take a battle shock test. So that's not bad. You can stop and interrupt or something like that if they fail a battle shock test. And each time this model ends a charge move until the end of the charge, it gets devastating wounds. That's legitimately good.
That is legitimately good. Dev Wounds is very strong, and so having...
Death Guard don't really have any way of doing mortals.
Weird.
So
they used to be their bag.
Yeah. Well, they have a few tricks, but not awesome ones. So this guy's pretty good. Dev Wound's really helpful.
Yes. I actually do like this, because Dev Wounds is good, and Battle Shocks are good to prevent interrupts, that sort of thing.
This guy's a great recipient for the Relic of +2 attacks, +2 strength.
Yep.
He goes up to +8 attacks, strength 10, then he starts doing real damage. Okay, I like this guy.
Yeah.
You might want to take one of these too.
Yeah. Or multiples if you don't have...
Plus, a lot of Death Guard players I know have the really awesome conversions where they've taken the Demon Prince and they've given the Forge World Bloat-Drone, engine turbines on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are really cool.
Yeah, those guys are sweet.
Typhus,
Big T.
He moves 5.
Big T is Trajan.
He moves 5.
Okay.
Which is good. Very good.
All right.
He's toughness 6, 2-up save, 6 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1, 4-up invuln. So he's pretty tanky.
He basically makes Terminators move 5.
He does,
because
which is really important.
You put him at the front and then he gains an inch on them.
Yes.
And then the following turn he gains another inch on them. And then at that point, now you can't move anymore because you gain your max coherency.
Yes.
But he does push how far the unit can go forward for the first couple turns at least.
Yes. Yes, we did correct the misread on Boil Blight.
Okay, Sam G. Don't know the name of the new pink hair dude, but he's pretty awesome. Just wanted to give a little bit of praise. This is Quinton Rampage Johnson.
Yeah.
And he is member of the Art of War now.
I know. Newest one. For those of you in chat, it's Quinton. It's been really funny. I've seen every possible spelling, and I've been really enjoying that.
Quinton.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So
Typhus.
He does slap in combat. He has 5 attacks sitting on 2, so strength 9, AP 2, damage 3. Lethal hits, which you'll notice is basically on everything. So we'll talk about that later. That's going to be one of your best ways of killing vehicles, is everything is kind of glancing them to death with lethal hits.
Yeah.
Versus strength 6, and then he's got 10 attacks at strength 6, AP 1, damage 1. Low AP is a little bit disappointing there, but it's not bad. He'll kill some Terminators real well.
Yep.
Especially with the -1 toughness, brings him down to strength 4, or toughness 4. She's winning him on 2s with the sweep profile, puts him to the 4-up invuln.
Yep. So he has the Destroyer Hive, which is when he is leading a unit, that unit is -1 to hit in melee only, which is a bit unfortunate, but is what it is.
And he does actually do a very real amount of mortals.
That's right. You pick an enemy unit with an 18 invisible, and on a 1, Typhus takes D3. He tried. On a 2 through a 5, they take D6, and on a 6, they take D3.
Yes, it's like a real amount of mortals.
Yes.
He can also join Poxwalkers. And if you kill someone with his living the Plague Eater thing in Majigger, then he gets that many Poxwalkers back.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. Other than that, he can join the Terminators.
Yep.
Death Guard Chaos Lord. He's got pretty standard Chaos Lord things. He can't take a Demon Hammer, which is a little annoying, but he can take a Power Fist, which is awesome.
He can take a Plague Fist, which is a Power Fist with lethal hits.
Yep.
A Plague-encrusted, exalted weapon, which is just lethal hits on a whatever thing.
You probably won't take that one. You take the Power Fist.
Yeah. The Plague Fist, excuse you.
Sorry, the Plague Fist.
Unit rerolls hit rolls of 1 while he's leading it, and an enemy unit in engagement range at the end of the turn on a 4-up, they take D3. It's not
awesome.
The best.
But he has real ones. I really wish he could give you a free stratagem like all of the other captain equivalents. Because that'd be cool on your Plague Marines. You could make them -1 damage in combat for free. So this guy's probably a little bit of a miss. I wouldn't...
Yeah. And end of the turn on a 4-up on a unit that is D3 right next to him, they take D3 mortals on a 4-up.
Well, we have a lot of cool options earlier. I wouldn't take this Chaos Lord.
No, Chaos Lord seems kind of mid. Chaos Lord in Terminator armor.
He does the same thing as the one, but he's in Terminator armor.
Sick! Moving on, Lord of Virulence.
Okay, this guy, probably the best HQ in the book. He is awesome. Okay, he moves 4, which you'll notice in Terminator armor is a bit of a running theme. Kinda sucks. He's got a Twin Plague Spewer, which is anti-infantry 2+. He's got the same thing as the Demon Prince, but his Reels Wounds, good. And then he's got a Heavy Plague Fist.
This is alright, so very quickly, I don't know what the idea was behind writing this. He gives his unit reroll wounds in shooting.
And then he's got his...
And then he has a twin-linked gun.
Weapons.
So his gun went from 2d6 shots, no reroll wounds, to d6 shots, reroll wounds
twice.
But he rerolls wounds twice, which, by the way, does not work. You only reroll once. So I don't know why they gave him a weapon that rerolls wounds when he already rerolls wounds. But carry on.
Okay. We got a $5 super chat from Garrett Mastriano. So there's a phrase that says, while an objective marker is infected and under your control...
Mestantuono.
I'm bad at reading.
I'm sorry.
Well, is infected and under your control, implying those different things. Thoughts? Okay. If that is how it is played, where the being infected is a thing that happens regardless of whether or not you control it, that makes the stratagems and abilities actually way better. Because it means if you tag it early, it's that way forever, and then you can use strats on it. Yeah. My reading was that you had to control it, and it was like controlled it, then it's infected, and it doesn't really do a whole lot there.
I don't know. That could be a stealth way for them to buff them.
It's possible. If that's in an FAQ, please. Like, I would love that. It would legitimately because it makes the second clause of the stratagems, which right now are basically impossible to use, actually very worthwhile. Because it means if you tag the objectives, they're yours, anyone comes to the center, then you get to use it to kind of bully them off of it.
Yeah. Noah, do you play any other armies? That's what I want to know.
Do I?
No, Noah.
Oh.
Anyway, Lord of Virulence, his Heavy Plague Fist is pretty good.
Pretty good.
I don't know why it's a Heavy Plague Fist. It's literally exactly the same as a Plague Fist.
Yep.
In every way.
Yep. But he gives his unit real wounds, which you'll find out is really awesome. It combos really well with Deathshroud and the Ferric Blight stratagem. Because they have anti-infantry, which gives them critical successes, so their flamers can go to AP1.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also he goes really well with the second best unit in this book, the Plagueburst Crawler. He gives them all +1 to hit and ignores cover if he can see a target. So he acts like a spotter for your indirect.
He is legitimately good. I think you want to play.
He is probably the best unit in this book. Your list should have 1, if not 2. I like taking him solo and just deep striking him and acting as a spotter, because if he sees everything, then your indirect is pretty much comparable to everyone else's indirect.
Well, when you put it that way. Yeah. All right, Lord of Contagion.
This guy gives your units rerolls to hit in combat, which is pretty good.
That is legitimately very good, especially when there's lethal hits across the board. Pretty much.
Or if you have Tesla on 6s, it's really good on Deathshroud. He also has a 3 damage strike profile, which is nice.
Yeah, a lot of strike profiles don't get to damage.
And then in the fight phase, each time he loses a wound, you roll a d6 on a 4-up. The closest enemy unit in engagement range takes a mortal.
It's fine. On average, he does 3 mortals when he dies. Sweet.
You're probably not taking him for that.
Yeah. But reroll hits in combat makes that unit legitimately hit hard. Like, when we get there, we'll crunch the numbers, but I do think Terminator units with Lord of Contagion, rapid ingressing in, trying to charge. I mean, they move 4, but
so it's a 5-inch charge, which is very real.
Which is very real.
The odds of making that are really high.
And then we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. I mean, I think you hit very hard with that, to be fair.
Yeah, you do. Death Guard Sorcerer. I actually really like this guy. So he's got an okay Witchfire. It's 2d6 shots if you overcharge it, shrink 6, AP 2, damage 1.
Oh, that's the same as the guy who throws screamers at you in T-Suns.
Yep.
Except his auto hits and can be buffed to strength 7, AP 2, damage 2, dev wounds, and flips the die to a 6.
Yes. Okay. That's correct. Yes. Just so we're clear. He's got Terminator options, whatever. But at the start of the fate phase, you pick an enemy unit with an 18 and with the Psyker, and you roll a d6. He takes mortals, whatever. And bet on a 2-up. Each time that unit allocates an attack to his unit, -1 damage. So it's -1 damage, yay, but only on one enemy unit and only on his unit, and only on a 2-up.
2-up, each time attacks allocated to a model in this cycler's unit, -1 damage.
Yeah, so he picks a unit, and their attacks get -1 damage against his unit.
2-up, each time attacks allocated to a model. No, the enemy unit doesn't do anything. It just literally says on a 2-up until the end of the phase each time, and attacks allocated to a model in the cycler's unit, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of that attack.
Okay. You can select one enemy unit within 18 of this invisible cycler. Each time an attack... I assume... I might be wrong.
It legitimately just says you select them, and then that doesn't matter. Like, read
what?
It. Read it. Look at it. Read it.
That
read
is
it out loud. At the start of the fight phase, you select one enemy unit within 18 inches invisible to the cycler, roll a d6. On a 1, they suffer d3 mortal wounds. On a 2+, until the end of the phase, each time an attack is allocated to a model in the cycler's unit, -1 damage.
That you are correct. It is -1 damage. That is the worst possible way they could have wrote that.
Yeah.
That is horrible. Wow, okay.
That entire thing about selecting an enemy unit could be excised for no reason.
Okay. I'm sorry. Once per battle, after selecting targets for his psychic weapons, cool. You get +2 strength and +2 damage.
Okay, it does become better than the Screamer throwing man at that point. Actually, I don't even think that's true. But you do have to buy an enhancement for that to be the case for the T-Sons guy. So I do think once a game, that thing becomes very, very good.
Strength 8, AP2, damage 3. Solid.
And a 2-up to get -1 damage is legitimately good. It's doesn't necessarily have to be against one target unit. So if they come in, you're -1 damage. That's on a 2-up. Don't roll the 1, obviously.
Okay, cool. So he's good. You're probably going to want him.
If you roll the 1, that's when you spend the strat.
Yeah. Can you just do that?
Yeah. Start of the fight phase. Both start of the fight phase.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you do this one, you fail it, you're like, damn, all right, 2 CP. Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, he can join the Terminators, right?
He can, yep.
Yeah. That's legitimately
No, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, he's very good. Very good.
With -1 damage, they're pretty tanky.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. They have it in the fight phase. In the fight phase, they have it.
In the fight phase. Malignant Blightcaster. I also like this guy. So his gun is pretty okay. D6 plus 3 shots. Just flamer, though. Strength 6, AP2, damage D3. You'll notice a theme of pretty good flamers in this book. A lot of really good anti-infantry flamers, I should say. But after he shoots something, it makes it -2 move, advance, and charge.
It's pretty good. Against infantry, but that's a lot of what you want.
Also, he picks a unit on a 2-up, they're -1 to wound. In combat.
Well, that enemy unit. So this one is actually worded correctly.
Yes.
So I'm assuming this is how they meant to word this one?
Yep. Yeah. We got a $5 super chat from John McArdell, the man, the myth, the legend.
Love you, John McArdell.
Saw the same issue on the Sorcerer picking an enemy unit. Curious if it was supposed to be just -1 from an enemy unit, not from everything. I have no idea. That strat, or that ability is just... Like, they took the ability and it feels like ChatGPT wrote it. I saw someone in chat say it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It should be that his unit is -1 damage, because if it's pick a unit and then pick my unit and a -1 damage, that's why.
Yeah, so as written, it's very clearly on a 2-up his unit gets -1 damage in melee. You just have to pick an enemy unit for some reason first.
Yes.
So what might happen is that what it was meant to be was on a 2-up you pick an enemy unit, and whenever they allocate an attack, -1 damage.
Yes.
Which would also be fine, because he could hang out behind the front lines and be like,
you
are -1 damage, and you are -1 damage.
So if it works either way, where he picks a unit and that's -1 damage against everything, or if he picks a unit and his unit's -1 damage permanently, both of those fine abilities work. But one of your units and one of my units, and if they meet in the middle, then we're -1 damage, it's not.
I don't love that.
I don't love that.
But you'll probably still be fine, because you pick it at the start of the fight phase, you get charged by one big unit, you're like, I'm -1 damage against you.
Nurgle Matt, you're in the chat, I love you.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the strats really quick. I just want to say, if Contagion range and Infected are separate clauses, I didn't read them, I don't think they are. Or read them as that, I don't think they are. But if they are, a lot of these stratagems do become, like, way better.
Yeah, you infect an objective, and then if they ever push onto it, they're you're dead.
Yeah, okay. So we'll need an FAQ from that. I just want to address that now. If that is the case, these strats some of them are actually, like, very good. Ferric Blight and Sanguineous Flux become, like, amazing stratagems.
I do think Disgustingly Resilient is
a good strat.
It's a good strat. It is a good strat. If your opponent tries to come and kill you in combat, you are going to be very difficult to kill them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
-1 damage in this edition is great.
Yes, it is.
I also want to say again, Cloud of Flies, I'm annoyed about the CSM one, but Stealth is an amazing rule on Mortarion.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. All right, we are at the Malignant Blightcaster. So he gives an enemy unit within 18 inches on a 2-up. -1 to wound. In your shooting phase, you pick an enemy with an 18.
And then
until you start your next
when they make a melee attack, they're -1 to wound.
So in your shooting phase, you pick an enemy unit, and until the start of your next shooting phase, they have -1 to wound in melee.
Yes. It's a weird...
Why does it proc in the shooting phase?
I don't know.
I do not know, but it does. Luckily, 18 inches is enough to where that's probably not an issue.
I do like his Pestilent Fallout ability.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 12-inch range is a bit sketchy on it, but it is still pretty good.
In the Death Guard mirror, because everything moves 2 inches. Because there's not an ability to say...
And they might be -4 to charge.
Yes.
All right. Relic Scupping with this $2 super chat. Most are strength 5 and 6 against infantry. Toughness 4 is +1, 2 to wound. I'm not 100% sure what you mean about that.
He might be minus toughness is like +1 or +2 to wounds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Strength 6 against toughness 4 is, in fact, +1 to wound.
Yep. Same
with strength 5. All right. Or strength 5 against toughness 5, same deal. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Plague Marines. So most of your characters that do cool things can join Plague Marines, so we should learn
So this is the backbone unit of the army, the thing that you're supposed to build around. They're -1 move, +1 toughness over regular Marines. Aside from that, stat line wise, they are intercessors. While this unit is within range of an objective marker you control, each time you take a battle shock test for this unit, add 1 to that test.
Okay.
Okay.
Just running down the list. T-Sons at the very least have full rerolls to reroll 1s to wound or full rerolls to wound on objectives.
Yep.
I know there are other troop equivalents that have the same thing where they reroll wounds or reroll hits or reroll
sticky
1s
objectives,
or sticky
which they do already have sticky objectives, but they don't have any other abilities.
Plague Marines have a conditional Battle Shock +1.
I'm not going to lie, this is terrible.
That
it's
rule
just
is
garbage.
Not great.
It basically
they are a bit better at holding objectives. They are functionally leadership 5. Which is
cute.
Dope.
Sometimes.
Ish.
If you're on an objective.
I will totally forget about this anytime it happens, but it should.
Yeah.
But yes.
Okay.
There's somebody in the chat asking if it's possible the damage -1 costs 2 because it was meant to not have a -1. All of the damage reductions in the game right now do not have a -1.
We have no idea.
Yeah,
like if that is the case, that's dope.
Dark Angels have -2 damage on some of their units.
Dark Angels have -1 damage for 1 CP.
Yeah.
It's the exact same strat, it's 1 CP.
I'm not trying to compare. Okay. I'm just saying like they also don't have a minimum, so
Fair.
I'm assuming that they don't. That they're going to put one in. So, looking at Plague Marines, everything in combat has lethal hits, which combos well if you have any source of rerolls.
Yep.
Wait, that might just be the Terminators that have sources of rerolls.
It's only the Terminators.
The Terminators also have lethal hits.
Yay.
In combat, you can have heavy plague weapons.
So you get 3 of these, and then you get 2 melted guns and like a bunch of flamers.
Yes. The heavy plague weapon is a thunder hammer with lethal hits instead of devastating wounds.
Which is probably worse.
And most of the time, probably. But, you get, 4 per 10?
Yep.
So you don't get 4 thunder hammers per 10.
You get 3 per 10. Because the sergeant gets 1, and then I think each...
For every 5 models, up to 2 can each have it replace the heavy. So you get 4 per 10.
4? Okay, so you get 5 because the sergeant can also take 1?
Yeah, 5. Sorry,
so you get 5. That's not nothing.
That is actually legitimately not bad. And then you pop the exploding 6s.
Yep, that's okay.
And if you infect an objective and it's separate in the clauses and they run it, you get double exploding 6s. Yeah. That's actually not bad. Okay.
That seems good. That's not bad. Yeah, this unit, but it also has some melted guns or whatever. It's kind of hard. It's cute.
Yeah, the bubotic weapons, I mean, because you can take 4 bubotic weapons, 5 heavy plague weapons.
I think you probably don't take the bubotic weapons, and instead those guys take, like, flamers or melted guns.
For every, can have their plague bolt gun. Are you sure? Like, because you actually you have fights first, right? Because, not to spoil it, but there's a character that gives this unit fight first.
Yeah.
You have 4 attacks with lethal hits and exploding hits if you spend the strat.
Yep.
There's strength 5, AP 2, 1 damage. And then you have 15 attacks at 8/2/2 with exploding stuff.
Okay. We got a $17.77 super chat from Magnus Did Nothing Wrong. I wonder which Chaos God you like. What up, fam? Don't know if I missed this, but is the sticky objective thing like super sticky? The wording is weird, saying opponent only takes it at start or end of a turn instead of end of phase. Can you go back up?
Yeah, that might... So we're on page 25. Whoop. All right, let's look at the detachment rule, find out if it does something.
In addition, while an objective marker is infected under control, blah, blah, blah,
until your opponent controls at the start or end of any turn.
Okay, so that's better than normal.
Yeah,
but still not amazing. If they hold it at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Plague Marines.
Plague Marines. So you can make a Plague Marine unit that kind of
hits.
Kind of hits. We would have to see their points cost.
Yes.
So you can do a couple with guns, a bunch of heavy plague weapons, some bubonic weapons to taste, and then see if because that's a not terrible offensive profile.
No, it's not.
And so if you took 5, you have
15 attacks, hitting on 4, strength 8, AP2 damage. So it's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. And then they have some shooting. Mostly, I would probably say you just make it a fight first brick and just be like, here's 5 heavy plague weapons, 4 bubonic weapons. Bang. All right. Death Guard Cultists. So they have Nurgle's Gift.
Yes. Cool.
And they have Scout 6.
That's awesome.
One hopes they don't cost as much as the T-Suns one.
Which have a 6-up invuln and get you a CP when they die?
Yeah.
Or the CSM ones, the sticky objective?
One would hope they cost less.
One would hope they cost less.
Having cultists that cost less is a niche as well. We'll see if that's the case.
I actually like these guys because they scout 6 and they're sticky, and that's a really important niche. They're probably also cheap.
But they can scout. Okay, so theoretically, right? They scout up, they move behind a wall, and then they sticky the center objective on turn 2.
2, yeah.
And then
it's, if it's infected for forever,
then if you fight over the center objective, you get double exploding 6s.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
They're also one of the fastest things in the book.
God bless.
Yeah.
All right, Poxwalkers. They move 4, but they have a 5-up Feel No Pain.
It's not going to save them with the 7-up save.
2 attacks that hit on 5s. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that destroys an enemy model. Good luck.
It's never going to happen.
That. You can't, excluding monster or vehicle, like they were ever going to kill a monster or vehicle in the first place. They do. Yeah. They do. You don't really roll the wound rolls with these guys.
No.
When Typhus is leading this unit, if he zaps somebody with the Eater Plague, then they count as models dying for the purpose of coming back to life.
I mean, if Typhus is in there and he kills someone, you get Poxwalkers back.
Yeah. Yeah, in combat too. So like if Typhus is leading the unit, you'd be like, bang, I killed 6 of your guys with my sweep. Boop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Noxious Blightbringer.
Okay, so now we're getting into the list of characters. These guys can all join Plague Marines. Some are really good, some are less so.
You would really want them to join Terminators, but you can kind of make Plague Marines bang too. So let's go off that.
Okay. So our Noxious Blightbringer, he's got a Plasma Pistol and a Cursed Plague Bell, which is Strength 4, AP 0, Damage 2, 5 attacks in combat. So he, hits them with his bell really hard, I guess. If he gets lucky, he'll kill an Intercessor.
Yeah.
You reroll Advance and Charge rolls. I wish it was Advance and Charge or something like that, but reroll Advance and Charge is not bad either.
Yep. It makes your unit go forward more reliably. Yep.
And while an enemy unit is within contagion range of this model, each time a battle, shock, or leadership test is taken from the enemy unit, subtract from the test. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Once you get that up to contagion range 9, he's in the middle of the enemy army, you will start shutting off your opponent's ability to have OC and stratagems.
Yeah. And wasn't there something earlier that, if they fail a battle shock test, they take a mortal wound?
There is. You could give it to him. You could.
Yeah. Sure sounds awesome.
Right. So you can attach this model to a Plague Marines unit, even if one other leader has already been attached to it.
Yep. So you get two characters of any of these in a unit, which is good.
That's pretty good.
Or a Chaos Lord, which you probably don't take.
Foul Blight. You might, because it's your only source of rerolls on those guys.
Oh God, it is.
Yeah. Foul Blightspawn.
I like this guy for a variety of reasons.
He is good.
Fights
his
first.
Flamer is strong.
Yeah. Oh, he has the best flamer in the book.
Yeah.
It's super good. Overwatch now, this guy's awesome. But if he shoots twice because he fires once in Overwatches, he should eat a Marine squad.
A decent amount of the time.
Yeah.
He wounds on 2s, which is dope. Mm-hmm. And then fights first.
Yep, that's why you take him.
Yep, you have a melee unit of Plague Marines with a Foul Blightspawn in it, and if they charge you, bang.
Yeah, he's good. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's good.
Fights first is very strong and tense, and he does it.
He does it.
That's legitimately good.
Biologus Putrifier. This is my favorite of
the biology professor?
Yeah, the biology professor. So he's got a 3 damage pistol, 3-inch range, but 3 damage, so it's hilarious.
Yes, he does.
He's got hyper blight grenades, which is
12-inch range with D6 blast.
Not bad.
5/1/2 lethal hits. That's not bad.
The Lord of Virulence.
Yes.
String 5.
Well, no, because they can't go in the same.
No, you just have to see it.
Yeah. He has to see it. So what does he get? Ignores cover
and +1 to hit.
And +1 to hit. Okay,
not bad.
All right.
String 5, AP1, damage 2. I kind of want to take 3 of these guys.
Yeah, they seem pretty good.
Yeah.
When you're leading a unit, models in the unit have the lethal hits ability, which they already had.
But it works on their melta guns and plasma guns.
Yeah.
Sure does.
They already have
that.
But the critical hit is scored on a 5+.
We got another $7.77 super chat from Magnus. Nothing wrong. Sorry for spoilers, but I don't see Death Guard possessed anywhere. They are gone.
Yep, they're
Sad
gone.
to say, I would have loved to have them.
Yep. So lethal hits, giving it to a unit that almost certainly has a large amount of lethal hits, is pretty funny. But critting on unmodified hit rolls 5+ is
really good because it works. It tallies with the strat for double exploding 6s, which becomes double exploding 5s.
And then you auto wound on 5s as well with the lethal hits.
Every 5 up becomes 1 wound or 1 hit and 2 hits and a wound.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Figured it out.
Which every 5 up is legitimately good. Like, I don't actually want to charge a unit of Plague Marines with this guy and the Fights First dude.
Yeah, no, that's pretty nasty.
Like, that's actually pretty scary.
And then he can throw the grenade strat once per game. So if you get 4 units of Plague Marines and they all hop out and they all throw grenades.
Yeah, he once a game will blat you for 0 CP for 3 mortals, which is legitimately not bad.
Yep.
All right. The Tallied Man.
I like this guy a lot. He is worse than he used to be because he only rolls once instead of twice.
In your command phase.
In your command phase and not in both command phases.
I do think that was an oversight in ninth, though, and
yeah.
they just left it because Death Guard weren't, ripping the meta apart, but...
Yep. So he gives +1 to hit to his unit, and he can get you a CP. So he should get you a CP every other turn. Aside from that, he has a plasma pistol. You probably take 1, and you stick him in your backfield on an objective, and you hope your opponent didn't bring it direct.
I will say, I think he might be better than the biology professor, the Biologus Putrifier, because he's just always +1 to hit, rather than proccing a strat on 5s instead of 6s.
So, I like the biology professor, does other things, and also his chant doesn't work when he's in a transport, and I think I really want my Plague Marines in a transport.
That is fair.
Yes.
He does have an infected plasma pistol, though, that if you hit on a 6 is D3 extra hits.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you infect plasma, but by God, he figured it out.
The Plague Surgeon.
So you finally can restore Death Guard to life.
Yay! Only Plague Marines,
only his unit, only
unit.
Plague Marines. You watch yourself.
I don't know why he does not have the aura of Feel No Pain. It'd be pretty awesome if he did. But he has damage too. 4 attacks, damage too. That's pretty cool.
Strength 5? What the hell is that?
Yeah, his Bale Sword.
Yeah, so diseased healing. He also heals a character, which infantry character only.
Yeah.
So not Mortarion. Not Mortarion. But he can heal an infantry character for 3 every turn.
Yep.
All right.
Blightlord Terminators.
Blightlord Terms. I think the Terms are the units you take, more than likely. I mean, honestly, Plague Marines with +1 to hit or exploding 5s, and then Fight First and max weapons are fairly annoying to deal with.
But yeah, they are.
Yeah.
In combat.
Yeah.
If you just shoot them.
Yeah.
They're fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Terminators. So what do Terminators get? They are movement 4, but they are toughness 6. And they have a 4-pin vuln save and a 2-up save, so they're actually kind of pretty tanky.
Yeah, toughness 6 Terminators are legitimately tanky. They move 4, which is unfortunate.
Yes. So these guys deep strike, which is important because you're going to be wanting using rapid ingress a whole lot with this faction. It's really the only way of getting anywhere. But
it is a good strategy.
It is a very good strategy. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so they each come with a combi weapons or some other weapons. And then you take a one of the swords, which are strength 5, AP 2, damage 1, lethal hits. So you take this guy, and then you take these guys, and then you take the Lord of Virulence, and you shoot a whole bunch of
lethal hits guns.
that reroll the wounds. And you can do some mortal wounds.
Oh, yeah, you reroll.
You take the Lord of Virulence, reroll wounds and shooting. And then you drop down, you shoot them with your combi bolters or anti-infantry 4+, you got devastating wounds. It's like a okay amount of mortals.
Yeah. They don't, and then they also re-roll wound rolls of 1 if it's a ranged attack and it targets the closest eligible enemy unit.
That's correct.
All right.
That's also a rule that certainly is there.
If it's Tuesday. All right. Yeah. Deathshroud Terminators.
Okay, we also move 4.
They also move 4. They have a good gun.
Okay, so their gun is actually I know it looks bad when you first read it, but if you come back to it, it's actually very good. I think might be one of the best guns the Terminator can get, and hear me out.
Okay.
You take 6 of these guys.
Got it.
Okay.
Done.
Then we take a Lord of Virulence.
And the Sergeant gets an additional
So we have 7 of these things and his twin-linked gun. Okay. Then we shoot infantry, and we pop the strat for +2 AP, and we wound him on 4s, full rerolls, and everyone is just an AP2 ignores cover wound.
Okay.
It's, like, kind of cool.
That will come in and will legitimately pick a unit up.
Yep, it will kill, like, a bunch of Marines very reliably.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, it is a... Like, you don't expect it, but it will just kill you. If you're infantry.
And then in combat, they are 4 attacks with lethal hits, hitting on 2s at 8/2/2, which is a good offensive profile.
Yeah, so each one is the same as one of the heavy plague weapon plague marines, but they hit on 2s instead of 4s.
Correct. And their sweep attack exists, which is good against horse. It's good against, like, a bunch of cultists or something. Like,
yes,
you don't need
if they don't have a save.
Yes.
In the guardsmen, I think it's better to have the stroke.
Now, they do have a real rule, which is when a character is leading the unit, if the strength is higher than your toughness, -1 to wound.
Very good rule. It means you can never wound these guys better than 3s, unless you have +1 to wound from somewhere. I really like Deathshroud. I think they continue to be one of the best units in this book. I think they are a standout. I like them a lot better than Plague Marines.
Yeah, I will say that a unit of 6 of these guys with 7 Plague Spurt Gauntlets and a dude inside that makes you reroll wounds on them is a very scary Overwatch threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You force a lot of saves.
No, and it's something that does not have a 2-up save. It's, like, terrifying.
Even if you do have a 2-up save,
it's just a lot of wounds.
It's a lot of wounds you gotta take. And you just better hope you don't roll a little bad and lose, like, 2 Custodies to this for no reason.
Yep.
And then on offense, they ignore cover and you can make them AP 1 or 2.
So I like these guys. I think 6 with Lord of Virulence, the Rapid Ingress during turn 2 is going to be a staple of Death Guard lists.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. All right, the Death Guard Helbrute. Let's read if his rule works.
I think he is the best. I think he might be one of the... No, he's not the best Helbrute. He is a good unit.
I think the Helbrute in T-Sons is better, but yeah.
Yeah, probably. He's good. You don't care about what he does. He's a dude with a las cannon. Whatever. But if he shoots something, they count as being in contagion range.
Oh my god, I just read the rule. It's... Okay, so they count as being in contagion range of a unit. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say which unit. And because it doesn't say which unit, you can't target them with the strat.
Yeah.
Because you can... So they count as being in contagion range of a unit, so you can target your opponent unit with the strat, but you also need to target the unit they're in contagion range of, which is just a unit somewhere. Who can say? So that means you can't actually use the strat on it.
No. But if you get it close, you can use Foil Blight.
Yes.
But he's good. Basically, his gun, if it hits you, makes you -1 toughness if you're not already next to me.
And then when he charges on a 2-up, you take D3.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It's cool.
All right.
Chaos Spawn.
Chaos Spawn. They are exactly the same as every other Chaos Spawn.
But they're not a 5 pinball.
So World Eaters ones are +1 strength. Mm-hmm. Thousand Suns ones have a 5-up invuln. And Death Guard ones...
do not get a bonus.
Anyway, Myphitic Blight-Haulers.
Okay. So these guys are cool. They're +1 to wound against vehicles, which is very, very good. They're one of the best sources of anti-tank in the Codex. Move 10, toughness 9, 10 wounds, 3-up save, 5 invuln, so reasonably durable.
Yeah. Exodius, anti-auto wounds, but also counts as a critical wound, so it would proc the extra AP strat.
Yes.
An extra AP with ignores cover is legitimately good.
Legitimately very good. So they come with a missile launcher and a multi-melta. So pretty okay anti-tank.
Add 1 to the wound roll against vehicles, which is good for strength 9 because it needs that +1 to wound to try to kill toughness 9, 10, 12 vehicles. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I know they have a 5-up Feel No Pain.
All Spawn do.
All Spawn have a 5-up Feel No Pain.
Yeah, you can take 1 to 3 in a unit, so I think 3, if they're really cheap, might be an amazing tank hunter.
Wait a minute, they have smoke? No, they don't have smoke. Myphitic Blight-Haulers have smoke.
Okay, so you can make them, was it -1 to hit with the smoke stratagem?
-1 to hit, they get stealth and cover.
Okay, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Not bad. You can take these in units of up to 3, and they fire a decent amount of shots apiece. Fairly close range, but whatever. And they get +1 to wound against vehicles. We'll have to see their points cost if they're efficient for their hull, but, you know, it's not something that's easy to kill.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Fetid Bloat-Drone.
I like these guys. They fly and they move 10, so these guys I think are the fastest thing in the book.
You said that about like 3 things.
Well, the Cultist I was memeing because they had the Scott move, but 10 is the highest move characteristic in the book.
Sweet. Okay.
Toughness 10, 10 wounds, 5 invuln, 3-up save. So again, pretty durable. Not super durable, but they'll tank some damage. You're not going to kill them with anything light. I like them with the Flesh Mower, which is 10 attacks in combat, hitting on 3, string 7, AP 1, damage 2. But I can also really see you take 2 Plague Spitters, and you move them forward, you flame something, and you're there as an Overwatch threat.
Yep. You flame something, and then when they move, you flame them again. You're like, don't move. Stop.
Yep. And the Plague Spitter is anti-infantry 2+, ignores cover, torrent, strength 6, AP 1, damage 1, 12-inch range, d6 shots. You have 2 of those, so 2d6 shots.
Yep, and you can shoot after falling back or declare a charge after falling back, so it's very hard to tie you up.
Yep.
And then the Flesh Mower is a good melee threat. I like these guys too. And it does not have smoke.
Plagueburst Crawler. This is an amazing unit. So you're going to have either 2 entropy cannons or 2 of the flamers. I think there's probably a very legitimate choice which one you're going to want to make now, since the entropy cannons are 24-inch range and they lost their rerolls.
They are lethal hits, though, now.
Which is really nice. That is very good. Especially since they're only strength 10 and a lot of the toughness in the game has gone up.
Yeah, like toughness 10 is like the average. Yes. Which is a bit unfortunate for Plagueburst Crawler because they used to be above average toughness, and now they are average toughness.
But they did get a 2-up save, which means they're tougher and they've still have been bone.
Yep, very easy for vehicles to get cover. So
I really like these guys though, because you get the two entropy cannons, which being strength 10 actually make a whole lot out of your contagion range ability.
If you can drag enemy vehicles down to toughness 9, then entropy cannons.
Or if they're toughness 11, they go to toughness 10.
Yeah,
huge. These guys love contagion range. Also, the mortars are strength 8. So if you go down from strength toughness 5 to toughness 4, really good.
Yep.
Or toughness 9, toughness 8. So the mortars, think one of the best things. They're blast, indirect fire, lethal hits, 48-inch range, d6 plus 3 shots. So the mortars got a bit of a glow up this edition. They're still 2 damage. AP 1. If you can be seen by a Lord of Virulence, again, you drop them down there, then you get +1 to hit and ignores cover. Really awesome. Or if you can like run something like a Bloat-Drone up forward and get Boil Blight, you can do it that way. So I really like these guys. One of the standout units. They're reasonably durable. They have indirect, which is so powerful this edition. And their entropy cannons are one of the better sources of anti-tank in this codex.
Yep. I could see taking 3 Plagueburst Crawlers with Flamers and 3 Fetid Bloat-Drones with Flamers and just pushing.
Yep.
Depending on points, obviously.
On points.
Yep. If that's like a sustainable part of the army, you can just go blah and just throw a million auto wounding on 2s, AP 1 ignores cover, flamers down at people. Because I think that stat line is pretty good.
And strength 6, if your opponent's -1 toughness, is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Death Guard Land Raider. I really like these guys.
It's a Land Raider.
So you get 2 twin, two Soul Shroud Alaskans, which notably are not twin linked, so you still get 4 shots. They're one of the, I think they're the best anti-tank profile ranged in this codex, so
I think the only thing that gets up to strength 12 outside of combat
is Mortarion.
Yeah, in combat it's Mortarion. Yeah.
But they have the assault ramp, which means your Terminators can move 10, which is awesome. They can take a Plague combi weapons, which is pretty cool, on top, and then their Heavy Bolter has lethal hits.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Yeah. There is something annoying in that they're 12 infantry models, which means you can't take 6 Deathshroud and a character.
Yeah.
Which is a little annoying, but you can take 5 Blightlords and a character. Or you can take 10 Plague Marines and 2 characters.
Yep. Yep. We'll have to see. It says 3 to 6, so I believe you can take 5 Deathshrouds and a character. We'll just have to see how that works out.
I think Deathshrouds are units of 3 to 6.
I see.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Death Guard, Predator, Annihilator is...
It's the same as all the other ones.
Okay, Predator, Destructor,
also the same
Defiler.
I actually like them in Death Guard, though, because Death Guard don't have awesome access to las cannons, and the Predator is pretty good there. The Defiler also has some really high strength, high AP, and high damage melee, and its guns aren't bad. I believe the battle cannon here is Blast.
Battle cannon. Defiler cannon.
Yeah.
Strength 10, AP 1, damage 3,
which you can
blast,
give +1 to hit and ignores cover.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
all right.
One of the few blast weapons in this codex.
Blast spam is not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I like this guy.
Moves over friendly things and terrain features, which helps its playability a lot. All right. Death Guard, Defiler. Sweet. Rhino. It has Firing Deck.
Yay!
All the other Chaos ones don't. They finally got a rule that the other Chaos factions do not have.
Aside from that, it's got Plague combi weapons. Pretty standard Rhino. You're going to want to take a lot of these guys because you can put your... I think it holds 12. 12, so you can put 10 Plague Marines and 2 characters in here. Awesome. I like it.
Yep. Mortarion.
Okay. Mortarion. Glow up. In some ways, he got a huge stealth buff. He's not towering. And unlike his brother, he doesn't have any ranged guns, so he doesn't want to be towering. So you can hide him behind ruins, you can not get shot. It's a little annoying because his wings are still gigantinormous. But if you can hide him, you can turn him like sideways, he's pretty good. He's toughness 12, 16 wounds, 2 up, 4 up, 5 up, feel no pain. And you can heal him, so he really doesn't actually die that easily. Especially being able to be hit. And he's a pretty good buff piece. He really does not fight as hard as he used to. He lost 2 attacks. And he lost being able to give out full rolls to hit, which is a little sad.
That is.
But he's still one of the few sources of AP3 in this book. So
he does give any unit within 6 inches reroll wound rolls of 1.
Which is very good.
Any unit in shooting, too.
So I think, and he also makes you ignore penalties of any kind. So you probably take him and 3 Plagueburst Crawlers, and you use him to reroll wounds and get +1 to hit. And then if you need to, you can send him forward, and he'll go punch something.
I will say that an Aura of Cover is
also
quite good.
It's legitimately quite good. It's +1 save.
Because cover is easier to get for vehicles, but still not automatic, and harder to get for infantry, because you have to be wholly in the terrain feature.
Matt O made a really good point. He basically does not degrade because he ignores his own damage degradation. It's -1 to hit, which he then ignores.
Yep, and he also is a 6-inch aura of ignoring all modifiers to characteristics, including failed battle shock tests.
Yep.
So you don't care about that. No -1 to hits will affect you. Mm-hmm. No minus to move will affect you, which is a big deal because you don't move very quickly. Mm-hmm. So I actually think Mortarion's quite good.
I think Mortarion is going to find his way into a lot of Death Guard lists.
I think he will.
He doesn't do what he used to, but he has a lot of other benefits that he didn't have before.
Yes.
He also makes you ignore movement modifiers, which is really key. For your Land Raiders and Rhinos, he gives them +1 save.
And then he also is a reroll 1s to wound aura for all your guns, which is quite good.
-1 damage anymore, but I think he is more durable than before, because whenever I played against Mortarion or played with him, he always died to random crap, so he had a 3-up save.
Yeah.
So, like, Shrouders would just kill him. He's a 2-up save now, and you give him cover, and you give him -1 to hit. So...
Yeah, he is legitimately tanky, and the aura of ignoring modifiers, characteristics, and rolls and tests is quite good. So I think he's pretty good. I mean, don't compare him to Magnus, just don't do that. But I think he's pretty good.
Yep.
He's a low amount of attacks. His damage is a little bit bad. He's kind of more of a buff piece.
Yep.
All right. Death Guard Icon Bearer. I don't know why this guy's a character and not part of the unit.
He gives you +1 OC. And once per battle, he can make a Contagion range 12. You can make it 18, I think, with Mortarion and the upgrade.
Sweet. The Miasmic Malignifier.
Its gun is bad. It's T12, T10, 12
wounds. Oh yeah, I kind of assumed there'd be like anti-infantry in there, and there just wasn't.
It's just strength 3. Anytime a Death Guard unit is within 6 inches of fortification, subtract 1 from the hit roll. It's not bad.
Okay, all right.
Any Death Guard unit, so your Land Raider, Mortarion, all of that, you don't have to spend the strat to do that. And then he gives a unit cover. You don't want to shoot it because it doesn't do anything.
Okay, I'll be honest. Having an army-wide -1 to hit and then an army-wide benefit of cover is going to make the army much tougher.
Yes. Right. I like him.
All right, and that is the end.
That is Death Guard.
That's Death Guard, baby.
Yeah, if you want more awesome 10th edition content, be sure to check out the War Room. We're offering a 3-day free trial at thewarroom.vhx.tv. You can also, if you sign up, you can join our Discord. You can talk to me or any of our other awesome Art of War coaches about Death Guard. You can bounce ideas off us. You can talk to us. You can pick our brains. I will say, now that we're done reading the index, I think Death Guard have a lot of really awesome ability to ally. I think if you take Nurgle Demons and you take Chaos Knights, you can really make illicit rocks. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it's wholly within to get -1 to hit.
Oh, okay. That's less good.
If each friendly Death Guard unit is wholly within 6. Oh my god.
Okay. That is Death Guard, everyone. See you later.
Bye.